my topic for tonight is Ratchet the New Normal? So we know that there's a lot of really ratchet stuff going on in the world today. Mm-hmm. And I mean, I like a little ratchet every now and then too. I drive my chief of staff crazy when I talk about it, but I do like a little ratchet moment here and there. In fact, me and my group members go at it about, well, one in particular, because Tisha is always a lady and always a spiritual woman. And I'd be like, oh, what if we did such and such? Tisha be like, no. But I do like a little ratchet here and there. But what I'm discovering is ratchet was at one point reserved for music. Mm-hmm. It was reserved for reality TV. But now it looks like ratchet is starting to seep over into the scripted space, because we have shows like Pussy Valley, which is a whole thing. Don't worry, my team, I'm not gonna get into that, but there's more to come on that. Yeah. And then we have this new show with Brandy. So what do you think, as an actress, as somebody who's been working or wanting to do more work? Obviously,
I'm not doing ratchet. I don't like it. I don't like how it, I mean, it's entertaining at best, but that's it. So for instance, this new movie Coming to America, there was no ratchetness in it. I love how the baby mothers got along, and I loved how the guy wasn't a dope fiend, or Eddie Murphy didn't leave his key, you know. So we can make good quality content movies. We don't have to fall into that. We can change the norm of what ratchet is, like, and make it better. Like, I'm sick of it. I don't want to keep seeing us in that light, so you can have a lot of followers and sell me a $39.99, you know, program to show me how to do this and that and the third. No, let's just come together and be better. Ratchet needs to be buried with the handle. Ratchet, just bury the ratchet, bury the handle, bury it all, and let's just unify and glow up, not grow.
Glow up, not grow up. Glow up. I like that a lot.
Glow up. Yeah.
Well, what happens when you don't have as many opportunities for work? Because okay, so I always say this when I talk about reality TV. We let people know what we want to see based on what we tune into, what we talk about in social media, right? Mm-hmm. So I hear you all day. I don't necessarily like ratchet at all. Well, I like ratchet moments, but I don't like ratchet in terms of what I do for a living and to have to submit to being ratchet in order to work. Yeah. But it's starting to look like, in order for us to work in this industry, that we do have to have a little bit of ratchet in us. Like, I see, I mean, no shade, but when Maxine Waters said she liked WAP, I was like, oh shit. I thought it was ratchet.
Yeah.
But I mean, everybody's entitled to it. And some people look at it as women's empowerment. So I guess my question is there a certain amount of empowerment that you think comes with the whole WAP and bad bitch and that whole image? Or do you think, no?
There's no quality in that, because how long is that going to get you? Where is that going to take you? It's only a fade. So I've been on a couple of reality shows. I was on the Newlywed Show. Mm-hmm. We did a series called The Virgin Diaries. My husband and I, we waited till we got married to have sex. So we did a show. So in the contract, they said, we can make you look stupid. We can make you look dumb. They told us what they could make us do. But if you don't give it to them, then they can't make that. They can't make that. So we didn't give them stupidity. We didn't give them craziness. We gave them real, authentic, you know, reasons and funniness and silliness. You can be fun and silly without, you know, being ratchet. So I think I'm not the whole WAP thing. If I have to have women empowerment by having a WAP, then oh my gosh.
Yeah, I think it's pretty ridiculous to be something that is necessary to work. But it kind of goes back in the day, our parents only listened to certain music, right?
Yeah.
So like when I made a joke yesterday, when Salt and Pepper Push It first came out, you know, we running around, you know, out and about, talking about Push It real good. And then we got in trouble because, my girlfriend's grandmother was like, what y'all running around here talking about some pussy real good for? We were like, that's not what we saying. That's not what it is.
I know, right?
But I mean, she was, in hindsight, kind of right, because that was the direction. Are we just set in our ways, and are we being old school? And even if you don't want to jump on this live, you guys, we want to see what your feedback is on the whole ratchet conversation. So do you think that we're just being, I don't know, old school?
To a certain degree we are, because we did grow up with our parents having a little bit more value the next generation. You have grandmothers now that are like 45, like a 45-year-old grandmother. So, you know, who raised them? I'm not knocking anybody or anything, but that's just something I'm not comfortable with or doing. I don't have to have a WAP to be bad, or I don't have to be a bad B to be a bad B. I can just be me.
Amen.
The baddest B is the one who don't know she's the baddest B. She's just the baddest B because she is.
Okay.
And she's getting a sleeping bag. Listen, I'm not just trying to get a Birkin bag. I want a sleeping bag. I want to make money while I'm sleeping. So let's talk about
that's right. That's that mailbox money we be talking about. That's that mailbox money we be talking about. Okay. So let me take a minute to say real quick, big shout out to my my chairman of the board of the From the Bottom Up Foundation. You guys give it up for Miss Pamela Price. Woo, woo. Let's give Pam some hearts, please. Let's give her some hearts. Let's give her some hearts.
Hey.
Pam, what's going on? So let's talk about it, Pam. You are often, You are often, you know, we talk a lot about Ratchet. And that is the reason why she is also one of my partners in the Worth TV initiative. And if you are not if you have not subscribed to our website, please go to worthtv.com, WIRFTV.com, and subscribe. What are your thoughts on some of these new requirements out here in order to be successful, which are to be, in my opinion, a little ratchet?
That's actually where, like, I take where it makes me a little mad. Like, I think making a requirement is where it becomes the problem. Because now it takes the power from us. Like, for those of us like me and you, like, I'm like you, I like a little ratchet moment from time to time. But when it becomes the norm, when that becomes the standard, and when that becomes what we see more often, as if that now is what is representative of all women and all Black people, that's the problem, like, that I have, is when, because now I think that's how we get to the whole, if you actually speak in correct full sentences and correct grammar, and you aspire to want to do something great, whether that's go to school, go to college, have a certain job, enter into a certain space, that somehow is the bad thing because you're not trying to be the ratchet chick on Instagram, you know? So, I mean, that's the problem, but you hit it, Nikki. It's what, I mean, it's little blonde haired, blue eyed girls, forgive me, on TikTok who have millions of followers with an M, millions. Ain't saying nothing, ain't talking about nothing. Meanwhile, our girls, to try and keep pace, are having to do the most on TikTok.
Yeah.
You know, so
yeah, 100%.
I mean,
yep, I agree, and it's viewed differently. It's viewed differently. Right quick, you guys. Let me welcome my little baby sister, LaSharte. What's up, Shari? And she's representing for the family.
I just want to say this was an accident.
R&B hoodie on.
This was not on purpose.
That's what you call. It was not.
No.
You come on now.
I want to go get my shirt.
When I got on here and saw you, I'm like, should I change? No, it worked out.
No, you shouldn't change. We're representing.
It did what it was supposed to do.
Cheers to 90s R&B. We got a whole vibe going on. Are you kidding me? Let's do it. Okay, so let's ask your opinion. You are a millennial.
Yes, I am.
And to Pam's point, TikTok is the new. Like, if you ain't on TikTok, you ain't nothing. No, I don't mean that. TikTok is the new. What are your thoughts on TikTok being a little ratchet here and there? Well, not to say, now let me say this. Let's be clear. Tabitha Brown is one of my favorite people in the world, and she is the furthest thing from ratchet, and she's on TikTok. So I'm not claiming that TikTok is ratchet. Let's be clear. I think TikTok is really a place where you can be fun and creative, and a lot of great things can happen.
Right.
But do you feel that you have to be a little more ratchet these days in order to get attention?
I feel, yes. I feel that we feel we do. In speaking to young ladies my age who are considered ratchet, because I know quite a few of them, their point of view is I'm just expressing myself. This is how I express myself. We in a time where women can do whatever they want to, and I can wear a mini skirt, and I'm not considered a hoe. Things like that. So they're not looking at it as ratchet. From which I looked up the definition, and the first word or the first sentence says something like, it's aimed at a woman who's considered uncouth. Right?
Oh wow, really?
Yes.
A woman in particular? So,
yes.
So men can't be ratchet?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh really? I didn't know that.
It said woman.
Oh wow.
And which bothered me. Let's start there. But in this age now, where you all talked about it earlier about can we consider this to be an old-fashioned mindset, which to the millennials is what is considered like,
you just
Granny wear pearls. Only Granny wear pearls, and only Granny covered up her cleavage, and it's 2021, and I can show my legs, and I'm a woman. Hear me roar, which is fine, and I get that, and I think it's all about how you perceive yourself, because I feel like if you the first, forgive me, I forgot her name, the first lady's point in Detroit, Patricia, yes. If you see yourself in a certain way, if you have a certain confidence about yourself, if you in your mind think, I don't need to show off my curves to feel confident, then that's how you show up in the world, if that makes sense. And I think it starts with that mindset. If I feel like me showing off my BBW body is the only way I can get 1 million followers, then that's what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I think it starts with a level of confidence that you have to have within yourself, and that'll reflect how you move in the world. But we have created a culture where, especially for Black women, and this started way before, I'm talking slavery days, Big Booty Judy got taken out in the shit. Excuse my language, but we've been objectified since we've come here. Okay,
Sarah Bartman. Sarah Bartman is the prime example. Sarah Bartman.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
100%.
And now we've took it upon ourselves to try and claim that objectivity to our benefit. Like, okay, well, since they see me this way anyway, let me get a check out of it. It's how our mindset has shifted to where we are now, in my opinion.
Ooh. 100%. Tisha had a wonderful question. Tisha, just let me know if you want to bop in here, because you know I want you. She said, why are so many followers so important? Is that a form of insecurity? Ooh, that's a bomb.
That part.
Ooh, that's a good question.
That part.
Ooh,
all of that.
That's a good question.
All of that. Like you hit on it, LaSharte. It's a mindset. Like, and it starts, and it's not just like Nikki, you even talked about it last night. It's not all about what's happening at home. It's everywhere.
Yeah.
Like you can have a good, proper, regular upbringing, be taught what you're worth and all that. And sometimes you leave and you walk out the door and it go just, you done forgot everything grandma, big mama, and mama done told you.
Yeah.
No,
and I think you
got temporary amnesia, selective. You ain't forgotten nothing. You know right from wrong. Right. You think about it before you do it. But,
but it's a mindset, like it really is sad, because I think so many of our young girls, they're craving and seeking this affirmation, and they're seeking it from folks who, again, they're not affirming you.
Yeah.
It's a false sense of affirmation in terms of getting those likes. Though, that's a button, that's a click. That's not nobody trying to get to know you. That's not nobody trying to help improve your life, trying to make you better.
Yeah.
It is just that it hits a button because it was something that they saw, probably even nothing that you said.
Right. Yeah.
That they were like, oh, okay. So where do you find that balance of being empowered by your body, by your curves? But then also, again, you owning, what that means, what it's worth, and why you are putting it out there. I think if you just putting it out there because, honey, you feeling yourself because you just, you woke up like this, that's great.
I woke up like this. Out there, let me get some of the shout outs. It says, it can stop as soon as certain women come together and say they want respect instead of attention. Shout out to State 83. Vision 2020 CEO says, what's more important than 1 million followers or dignity or dignity is respect for yourself. 100% is dignity and respect for yourself. Let me see. Let me get some more of these in here. State to State said people are chasing to be perfect and likes are destroying us. Juicy Nelly says the more likes you get, the more money you can make. That's a good point. Let's go with what Juicy Nelly said real quick. You guys, and we can only get 4 people on here. I love this rooms thing, but we can only get 4 people on here at a time. So I'm gonna get some more people in here in a second. But let's talk about that. Because who was that? Juicy Nelly 917 said the more likes you get, the more money you can make. That is absolutely true, right? So how do you justify not putting in the work in social media to get the following? Like, how is it possible for you to be successful in an industry? Because I have a friend of mine who is a brilliant, when I say brilliant, he is a brilliant actor. Y'all know who he is. I'm not gonna put him in the streets because what I'm about to say he said. But you've seen him in other, shows and movies and stuff. And he said that his agent was basically like, he was trying out for agencies. And the agent was like, unless you get, we're looking for people with 10,000 followers or more to represent in our agency, right? So what does that mean to a person who's lived their whole life as an actor, right? Someone like me as a singer, I don't have, I got almost 170,000 followers. All of those don't translate into consumers, but that's nothing compared to people who have millions and millions and millions of followers. And they get the work and they get the jobs and they get the opportunities. So when I talk about, are we just being old school? I'm being so real, because if the world is evolving into a place where you have to have social media currency, which is the next part of the topic, right? If a world is evolving to a place where you have people gonna check your social media numbers, people gonna see how many followers you got in order to work, does that kind of, conflict with what we're saying right now? Because the thing is, especially in the entertainment industry, I don't know, does it apply, Pam? Would you see that it applies as much in the space of business and nonprofits and health and wellness? Like, are they concerned about how many followers people get to get their messages out?
Yes, I literally just saw a proposal this week that they actually want you as a part of the application to provide your social media analytics.
Yep.
And I can tell you right now, they're not going to be tossing out no money to anybody who their social media analytics don't show that they're reaching and engaging with people. So yeah, I think it crosses all sectors. I think where I would challenge people is that we all should know by now, social media is based on analytics, everything. What Google, Facebook, IG, Twitter, what they push in front of you is based on what you are consuming. So I think if we want to say, hey, look, I don't think it's fair that if I don't want to be a ratchet person, I shouldn't have to do that to get a job. I shouldn't have to do that to get my likes up. But I think in order to do that, we have to switch what is being consumed. And we should be able to strike a better balance to say, we can have this lane over here that has the more ratchet, that has the maybe more kind of out there type of content, language, whatever. But then there is also space, equitable space for those that are not in that lane. And I think that's where policy comes in, like as a, putting a public health hat on. I think we have to challenge folks like Twitter. We got to challenge our Facebook people. We got to challenge all these platforms that we use that are all white owned, by the way. None of them are Black owned. None of them are women owned. That's a problem. And so I think we have to challenge them to say, okay, you create this space for us. Why aren't you pushing, if this person is looking and searching for this type of content, if you see that these are the type, like I can follow somebody and I'm like, why would you put this person as my suggested person to follow?
Right.
I'm like, that's nobody or anybody that I'm even interested in. That's not a subject that you've seen me like, comment on, or post. But yet somehow Instagram and Twitter, they've got that as my suggested. Don't you want to follow these people? Hell no. Like, so I
that's why she
how do we?
That's why she the chairman of the front of Foundation. And that's why she won't work. Go ahead, Bill. Go ahead, girl.
So I think we can. I don't think it has to be an either or. I think it needs to be a both.
Right.
Agreed. Yeah. It would be nice if it were a both. And Mr. Dresden Rest, I'm gonna get you on here in a second because I definitely see you dropping some real knowledge. It's Joanna says definitely a problem, needs to be more Black and more women, 100%. And that's the reason you guys see me all the time, all day, every day. I don't take a break. I'm always posting about worth and this fight for worth, right? I mean, I post a lot of things. She Speaks Live, worth from the bottom of foundation. But the reason why worth is so important is because it really is, first and foremost, it's not about me. Right? It's not about me. It's about building a legacy and having something in place so that we don't have to be nasty bitches. And we don't have to, excuse my language, be pussy valley. And we don't have to do all of this. Like if you flip, I challenge each of you to try this exercise. Turn on your TV, right? And just go through and like click through the titles and the shows and what everything is about, right? Especially things that relate to us, right? It's First 48, people, but mostly Black people getting killed. It's reality TV. Like, you know, I'm a fan of, and I've said this before, I think that the women on the Housewives of Atlanta are all bosses. I think they're all smart. I think they are all drop dead gorgeous. But I get disappointed when they have to fight each other, when they have to, you know, get into this space of like, we got to bring drama. And that was the issue on R&B Divas. I'm not even going to hold y'all up. In order for us to be successful on TV, you have to be a little ratchet. And we get on these lives and we're a select few people who say ratchet is too much. But is the truth that ratchet is the new normal? I hear everything you're saying. I agree with you. How do you break through? Pam, you know, we just applied, it's no secret, we just applied for a huge grant. And we didn't get it, right? And I was disappointed, but I understand what's for us is for us. And thank God I got a great team where we're still getting other grants. Thank you, Jesus. But I don't think they realized how important it was for us to have this initiative to change the narrative, right? Let me ask you, Shari, as a younger millennial, right? Are you interested in seeing things that are, okay, let me rephrase this question because I know the answer to that question for you would be yes. So I have to figure out, because you're so smart and own it. But I need to, I need to figure out, do you have moments where you enjoy ratchetity?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. And if I'm being honest, I do in certain spaces at certain points in times, I do see it as a way of feeling empowered and not like just having fun and expressing yourself. But I think to Pam's point, there needs to be a balance. Drama is entertaining. Let's be honest. My great grandma was watching soap opera.
Right.
And we were, Miss Nicci, we were talking about that. Drama is entertaining, regardless. It's entertaining. Fair. But I feel like we have strayed way too far away from the couthness of our people, and we need to get back to having a space to show respect and dignity and class. Power. And like you, exactly. And that's just as entertaining as watching the foolishness. Sometimes the foolishness gives you a break from all the serious stuff that goes on in your head. Like you get tired of having to think and make decisions and be smart. Sometimes I just want to
just say right.
Do that sometimes. Okay. And like I said, I have friends who I consider extremely ratchet, and a couple of them they out here doing the thing. I'm getting checks, not for being ratchet, but they have moments of ratchetness in that space. They're just expressing themselves. Or they may, got some trauma that they need to deal with. But that's another conversation.
But what's crazy is there used to be a time, y'all remember when there was all that controversy at the Super Bowl when Janet Jackson's nipple was exposed accidentally, right? Now you got a whole Pepsi endorsing Cardi B. You got a whole, no shade. I love Maxine Waters. That's still Auntie Maxie, but she like, I like WAP. You know what I mean? So it's like, I'm asking because I really, truly want to know. And I'm asking the people watching this as well, where is the balance? Is there a place, and somebody let me know in the comments if you know, is there a place right now where you see a good balance of inspiration and ratchet? Is there a show I'm missing? Is there a film? Is there a project? Because Snowfall is one of my favorite shows. Hella ratchet, about crack. Power is classy ratchet.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like the biggest shows that we have, the biggest, right. You know, it's there. So again, and I'd love to hear from someone who might know what fits into that space of like ratchet, but there's a moral, or ratchet. It seems like everything is just maybe Housewives a little bit, maybe, but that's not even really scripted. It's reality TV. Can anybody think? I just don't think there's any balance.
I don't think there's anything, even not. So let's take away from the Atlanta franchise and let's go to Salt Lake or some of the franchises where they're not an all-black cast. You can tell they're trying to be ratchet just so they can be ratchet. You know what I'm saying? You're a classy woman, so why fit yourself into this mold to be something that you're not? Like Vanderpump lady, she doesn't need to be ratchet, but you can see sometimes she's trying to be just so she can get that whatever, like you said, that following and click. I don't know. I haven't seen a healthy balance of ratchetness. I would love to, you know what I'm saying, but I don't think that's possible. It may be, and maybe somebody can do that. You know, that's a lane somebody has to get in and drive.
Yeah, I agree, and we're trying to. And so, Pam, you know how much we've been in the weeds, how much we've been in the trenches. And it's interesting. I was watching a post from David Banner today, and he was talking about how important it is to cultivate your mind, because your mind is like a garden. Your mind is like fruit. It takes a while to develop it. It takes nurturing. It takes watering. It takes educating. But weeds grow like wildfire. And I feel like we're in a situation where the entertainment industry has just become a place that is full of weeds.
Yeah.
And Pam, you know, we're not giving up. I'm not giving up.
No, not at all.
But what are some of the things that you think we can do? Like, what are some of the things that you would suggest? You know, you mentioned Google, and you mentioned some of the, like, is this a situation where we need to just continue knocking on those doors and trying to have representation and those lenses that are not culturally incompetent in the space? Like, what would you say? And then you're in the mental health space quite a bit as well. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So what would you say could be some of the solutions?
One, I think, yes, we keep knocking and beating and banging on the doors. I don't think we ever can get away from that until the power shifts. It's too much power on the other side of those doors for us to not knock at them and not try and get through them. But I also think that at the same time, we have in some spaces lost sight of our collective power. We are one of the biggest, not only consumers of TV, of media, we're also the biggest buyers, purchasers.
Yes.
Across. And considering that we
Number
are
one
also the
consumers
ones
in the country, baby.
If we start spending money one day, if one Black person didn't buy anything.
Right. And how many years have we seen hey, let's have this blackout and let's have this. And then you have ignorant people like Floyd Mayweather who say, fuck that, it's my money. I'm going to buy what I want to buy if I want to spend money on Louis Vuitton, you know. But I think one, yes, keep knocking on these doors. But I think two, until we are willing as people, you know, as women, as Black women, to say, okay, well, I am going to now take myself and I'm going to create my own damn table. And then I'm going to put that table in my own damn building, in my own damn block that I own or that we own. So I think we've got to get into this mindset to stop saying everything we need is not on the other side of that door. Some of what we need, we already have. And can we find a way to come together to pool the resources that we already have? So I think that's two. And then I think the third thing, to a little bit of what David Banner talked about, is what seeds are we planting in our garden?
Wow.
You know, we should be the planters and the farmers of our gardens. And I think too often we letting other people come in and plant shit that don't need to be there. Right.
Absolutely.
And so I think let's think about what seeds are we laying. And to your point, we should be sowing seeds that are for ourselves. So that we can all these girls that live up here in my head, and it's a lot of them, and one of them is very ratchet,
right?
One of them is not so ratchet, right? I need all of them. I need all of them to survive and get through life. So I have to plant seeds that nurture my girls that serve me best. Ooh. And then we have to then plant seeds that are going to, like in my case, I plant seeds. What am I planting for my daughters and my son?
Right.
Then beyond my children, what seeds am I planting for the other people that I get fortunate enough to interact with? And I think that's how I think we have to start saying, hey, we need to sow seeds, in my opinion, in 3 places: in ourselves, in our children, family, and then we need to be sowing seeds into our communities.
Yeah.
And I think we fall short of sowing in all 3 places, right? I think if we could do that, see, now we're sowing more seeds than the weeds can choke out. Because that's the problem. We just being choked out by way too many weeds. I know our grass had mushrooms that, honey, my husband was burning up my grass, literally setting it on fire, trying to get rid of these mushrooms.
Yeah.
And we ended up having to fix it. But I think that's our challenge, is that we got to get more people planting seeds in those 3 places to get to choke it out the weed.
100%. And one of the things that one of the challenges that we've had is getting the funding, right? Getting right. Boom, 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 bang, boom. That right. Exactly.
Yes.
Would you let them know? You better let them know. You know what I'm saying? That's what we're trying to do. But it's difficult to get people to buy into those seeds. And I think what's really important is that you have to understand that it only takes 1 or 2 people that you touch. Right, Tosha, Pam Credible. That's what we call her, Pam Credible. That's our name for her. It only 1 or 2 people. Look at what we have. I have a very small team of really smart, amazing women of color, helping to build something that is going to be around forever. And I want you guys to go to worthtv.com, because y'all think Pam is on fire. Y'all think these ladies is on fire on this call here tonight. Wait till you see all the things that we're coming up with for the future. But I think it's really important to not get discouraged because people don't buy into those better seeds, right? I think it's important to not lose sight of the fact that what you're planting isn't for you to sprout and grow and eat off of right now. Right. Sometimes what you're planting is fertilizing the soil so that we can grow a whole acres of dope ideas. And the most important lesson I've learned in my almost 30 years in this business is the importance of ownership. And I think that we get so caught up in being ratchet and fresh and fly that we forget that ownership is the only thing that leads to legacy, to wealth building. You know what I'm saying? It's like that whole concept of, renting versus buying. If you just do the work that is required to be able to buy something, you know what I'm saying? And not be so caught up with keeping up with the Joneses and the pretentiousness of it and all that other stuff, then that is something, God willing, that you will have to pass down from generation to generation. I found by doing research that most of the wealth building comes from real estate investments, which is about ownership. You understand what I'm saying? And content, people, listen to me when I tell you, all you content creators out there, songs, music, TV, film, whatever, content, y'all see these shows on these streaming platforms that we was watching when we were kids. Y'all see these shows that our parents were watching when they were kids. That's making generational wealth and generational money for people hundreds of years down the line. So we have to really plant those seeds, to Pam's point, and be patient enough to watch them grow. And I'm grateful that I have women around me and people around me that encourage me every single day to not lose sight, because it's difficult when you're used to that instant gratification as an entertainer, right? In the entertainment industry, baby, you used to hearing that applause, but we got to start doing more things for cause than for applause, because that's where, we build wealth. All right, let's move into this. Work on your dash. That's right, Tosha with the silent P. That's that chief of staff. Work on your dash. So we want to get into the next phase of this conversation, I am going to, Patrice, you've been out here for a minute, right? So I'm going to bop you off and bop somebody else in here and give them a chance. But stick around because I don't know about you. Bop you back on.
Okay.
Thank you for all of your amazing input.
Yes,
I'm going to make room and try to get somebody else on here.
Give somebody else a chance. I appreciate the opportunity. I think I still have your number. I'm going to text you if I do because I want you to help me do something.
I'm here. That's what we do. And then make sure that you drop the information on the salon.
I will.
Okay, thank you.
Bye, ladies.
Thank you, Pat. Thank you. All right, let's see. Let me bring somebody else in here really quickly. There he is, Darius Boom. I hope you're still here, Darius. Darius been around for a minute. Y'all, if you want this 90s R&B gear that we're rocking on this evening, once again, you can run right on over. Give it to him. You can rock right on over to at Certified 90s R&B, or it's on the She Speaks Live under the column She Shops Live. So please check it out. There were a couple people who said that they wanted to sing. Lily for Life, I'm going to bring you up here so you can entertain us in a second. Absolutely. I thought hold on. Wait, let me send another invitation. Send request. Okay, I think I did it again. Hopefully that works. So the next topic is social media, which was kind of
Hey.
Yes, for the hoodie. Yes.
You already know.
Yes.
You already know. You know how I do.
Yes, action. I'm loving what you're doing.
Listen, we love all of this.
You know I love me from you.
All of this.
Say hi.
Hi, handsome.
Say hi, Demi.
Hi. What is your name?
Say Demi. He's one.
Demi, you are the most handsomest little thing. Wait. Let me make sure I can see because Auntie can't see good. Demi is a boy, right?
Yes, ma'am, he is.
Okay, yes. Okay,
yes.
I just want to make sure
Just all his hair.
That's a girl. Okay, now, hi, Demi. Hey, Demi.
It's the Sesame Street on right now.
Oh, Sesame Street is on. I totally get it.
He in his own world right now.
I totally get it. Black Butter Soul, don't be jealous. Just go on She Speaks Live and order your hoodie because we represent the 90s R&B. First of all, Darius, am I saying it right, Darius?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Okay. First of all, Darius, let me say thank you for patronizing our store and representing. That means so much. I'm so honored to have you on our live.
I'm honored to be here.
Every purchase that you make, portion of the proceeds goes to FromTheBottomUpFoundation.org, where our mission is to uplift, empower, inspire, redress inequities in women and girls of color. So please support our initiatives because we're going to keep going. And every little bit helps.
It does.
Absolutely.
It does.
And Tosha with the silent P just tagged all of our different handles that you should be following.
Yeah.
So Darius, the stage
ma'am.
is yours.
What's up, Auntie? What's going on?
We're talking about social media currency, and you had some really great points that you made. So tell me what's up.
These people out here paying for these followers, Auntie. They paying for them. You can pay for followers. You can pay to promote, like posts on your page now. To just build up, your following and your trending, and so like that way it makes it easier for people to find your handles because now it's like having a certain amount of followers dictates your greatness almost, and how educated you are, how talented you are, and that's not true. Think about it. A lot of people that are quote unquote famous, what's the talent?
Well, back in the day.
Yeah,
the talent was vocals or ability to act, but today,
listen, it's changed.
Well, how my mama said, they could drop it low and spread it wide.
Right, that's what it is. And let me be clear, also, there's some ratchet men out here too.
Oh, for sure.
There's some ratchet men, and they also want, they just want us as a people to just show our asses on TV.
Yeah, that's what they want.
That's what they want, and that's not who we are. We're more than that, and there's a stigma on Black people in general, Black women, Black men, Black gay men. Like, we're not all the same. Like what you see on Pose or what you may see on Housewives or, you know, their home. We're not all like that. We're out here. We are educated. We have jobs. We have businesses. We have children. We have families. Like, we are more than just what you see or a snap or a high five. Like, we're way more than that. Way more.
Yeah, and it's interesting. So let me ask your perspective as a member, and I'm assuming, should I assume you are a member of the LGBT community?
Yes, ma'am.
You got to, okay, Pam. Thank you. Hold on. Let me let Pam out. I'll let somebody else. I love you so much, Pam. Thank you.
I love y'all too.
Pam, credible. And
cannot wait till the next one.
We gonna make you proud.
Y'all.
We do this every night. We talk every night. We don't even talk, so we here.
Honey, I'm gonna have to start telling people, look, I'm not available for table talk conversations like after 6 o'clock.
Hello.
Come on,
I have a prior engagement.
Thank you, Pam. Incredible. Thank you for all you do. You, ladies and gentlemen, this is one of the most incredible Black women you will ever. Don't get it twisted. You were blessed on this evening. All right.
Love y'all.
We love you too.
Amen.
Okay. So, Darius, can I ask you this question? Are you a member of the LGBTQ community?
Yes, ma'am.
Or is that, yes, you are. Okay, because I thought you said it. So I'm like,
oh, I did.
Not trying not to call you out. How did you feel about your representation in television? Just in general, you got Pose, you got P Valley. I'm gonna stop calling it Pussy Valley, you know the show is. But how do you feel? Do you feel, because so often we get into these conversations about how women of color are represented, but we forget the fact that there's a whole other community out there that's represented in TV and film. What do you think? What do you say?
I don't see myself on TV. I see maybe a portion of it, you know, like I love Pose.
Really?
I love Pose. Don't get me wrong. But Pose is not current day. You know, it's kind of, it's scripted to be, you know, back in the 90s. I was a kid then, but you know what I'm saying? But as of right now, no, I do not see, there's one show actually on Netflix. I think his name is Jason Bolden, the stylist, and his partner. They had a really nice show on Netflix. It was a reality show, like going after their lives and everything and their businesses and things like that. Very positive. But as far as in general, outside of that, no. We're either just one of the castmates, homeboys, Kiki partner, you know, that's her, you know, her good Judy, her stylist, her makeup artist, or her hairstylist. But we all don't do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, we all have other jobs and, you know, professions and things like that. So no. And then it's like, I don't argue with nobody really, but I'm definitely not arguing with no females. And why is that when I turn on the TV, that's the ratings? Oh, did you see how he cussed her out? Oh, girl, he read her for feelings. Like, what else? Like, we're more than that.
Yeah. It's I love Jason Bolin. I think he's an incredibly talented stylist, and he has such a powerful story about how things went. You know, I don't know if he addresses this on the show. I'm glad you told me, because I didn't even know.
Oh, it's a wonderful show. Yeah,
I didn't even know, so I'm definitely gonna check it out. What do you know what it's called?
It's called Styling Hollywood. It's on Netflix too.
Oh, okay. Okay, I love it. Styling Hollywood. That's dope. But so what was the first time? Do you remember the first time you saw representation from your community on television? Do you remember what that was?
The first time,
I mean, like open representation, because it was probably some representation.
It was some representation. Just,
but I mean, like openly, like representing the culture.
As just a regular, like, gay man.
Hollywood, maybe Housewives. For me, I feel like Housewives.
So back in the day, as a kid, I ain't know I was from you, but as a kid, I guess coming up, like, you had RuPaul. You know what I'm saying? But
right.
But that's not your everyday, you know, gay man. I guess Housewives. Yeah, Housewives was kind of the first time I actually seen us, but it kind of. Oh, yeah, thank you. Noah's Ark. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
And I loved that show. That was a good show. That was good, and it kind of tapped into our everyday lives. relationships, career, all of those things. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I just felt like I needed to ask that question because, you know, so often you just hear about the lack of representation of Black women and who we really are. We don't always think about from the LGBTQIA community, like how, you know, that community may feel about the representations that they have. And I feel like, again, the same way our images are hypersexualized and we got to be, you know what I'm saying? Somebody keeps saying we're on mute. Can you guys hear us? Y'all can't hear us? Please give us the thumbs up if you can hear us, because I think we're fine. I can hear us.
Yeah, I seen a couple
anyway
responses that said they could hear, so they was agreeing rather what we were saying.
Okay, well then there it is. But we so often see ourselves misrepresented or represented as angry Black women or hypersexualized and all the other stuff. So I was just curious as to whether or not in your space, if you feel the same thing.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And I can, but for your community, it's pretty much the same thing. The screen time that you get is those that are loud and flamboyant, and
right? What
we're calling ratchet. And for me and my friends who are in the community, they don't act that way at all. They're
correct,
educated. You know, they polite,
don't be wrong.
Respectful, and nice. I don't know.
I love a little ratchet. I do. I love a good.
Like you said, we all got a little bit.
A little ratchet every now and again. So let's talk about social media, you guys. Let's get into the social media currency and whether or not, you know, if that is the new currency. Like, you know, do you have to be successful in social media in order to be successful? Like, in other words, if you're not hot and verified and got a bunch of followers in social media, do the millennials just think that you washed up and a has been? Come on, y'all can break it down to me.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, being honest.
Well, I don't think that, but that's what the masses.
Exactly. That's the consensus. When you meet somebody, the first thing you ask, what's your Instagram?
Right.
And the first thing you look at, how many followers you have. If you're not in the thousands, okay, I'll just follow you and go on about my business. If you are, let me scroll through and see what you be doing with your life.
Mm-hmm. Right, exactly.
And even now with job applications, they ask for your IG handles, your LinkedIn handles.
And you know, I reached out to you a long time ago, Nicci, about my show, my platform, right? No goofy shit. And what I first want to say thank you to your chief of staff. I think her name's
Tosha.
I had to shout out you and her. I want to thank her because when I reached out to her, what I could appreciate was she loved the content I had thus far, but she was like,
"That's okay."
She said, "Listen, build up some more content, son. I love what you're doing, and come back to me." That was all I needed. That was that extra push to be like, "Listen, I see where you're going with this. I like it. Build it up, and we gonna rock." Since then, when I tell you the grind that I've been on is real.
Wow, right. Okay. So
I appreciate that. No, seriously, I had to give her props real quick on that because since then, I mean, I couldn't even have imagined the people that I've had on thus far. You know what I'm saying? Like the Jones girls. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, like, absolutely. I'm like, she was on last night. Yeah. He was on last night.
Auntie Shirley.
Speaking to your point, that's how I feel like that's how we can change the narrative and getting the majority of what we see away from the ratchet is one, having these conversations continuously, two, inviting those people on who feel like they have to do that and showing them a different way. Like Tosha just she gave you a compliment and then gave you some constructive feedback.
Right.
Like not alienating or isolating those people because one, they may not know another way. They may feel like this is all they know how to do. This is all they can do. This is all they're capable of. So having the more seasoned folk or the people, who are in a different space.
That advice.
Exactly. Allow them in and have these kinds of conversations. Not only have these conversations, but taking your ideas and your ideas and your ideas and actually
sometimes,
putting that footwork in.
Yeah, and sometimes it is disheartening because I've had, in business or reaching out to certain people to come onto the platform, they're like, how many followers? That's the first question they've asked me. I have legit had people be like, how many followers? What's your reach?
Yeah.
I'm like, well, get into the content first. See how educated I am, how talented I am, how I do my research. You know, I'm professional with it, but that didn't matter. It was just, how many people can you reach? What's your followers? Yeah. And who have you had on?
Absolutely. Okay. Well, I mean, and that's not just, you know, you find that at the corporate level, just like Pam mentioned. Everybody wants to know how many followers you have. So it's just such a double-edged sword, because you want to be authentic, and you want to give people, you know, you want to be able to grow, like Pam said earlier, plant the seeds and watch it thrive. But when people start saying that you can't work, or they can't show up on your platform, or you can't participate in this or that because you don't have enough followers, it makes people start buying followers, or doing crazy ratchet shit to get followers. And don't get it twisted, I could flip over a table and cut somebody out with the best of. Like Pam said, that girl is right over here. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
You know, stay at the range, and I'm gonna leave that alone. No.
And we all have had our moments where we like, I would lay you out in here. You know what I'm saying? But that's not all of who we are. That was one quick moment that you took and ran with, like, and made that my narrative, and that's not it. That's not true.
Yeah, 100%. And that's a big part of it, the narrative. And it's so important that we encourage everybody to work a little bit harder at just trying to improve that, because you, just like your little, you know, your baby boy who was on the live earlier today, my grandson, Char, your future son, you understand what I'm saying? Like, they have to see something positive. They have to know that life is just not about how good you could cut somebody out, how many tables that you could flip over, being a nasty bitch, Pussy Valley. Like, it's just, and I get real funny sometimes about calling this shit out.
Right.
Because I understand that it does have an impact on my opportunities, because people just don't like to be called on their shit. And when they have an opportunity to, like, you know, slow you down or silence you or mute you on Instagram, they will do that. And you just have to, again, be prepared for that resistance.
Absolutely.
In order to really, because nothing great has a whole bunch of people on it in the beginning.
No.
Exactly.
And that's the other thing. It's a lot of people out here doing anything for clout.
Selling their soul. Selling their soul. Selling their soul.
Selling that soul. And I'm telling you, when it's time to pay, you're going to pay. You know what I mean? And if you don't pay, the sins of the father. Do not get it twisted. What you put out will absolutely come back. Versace baby doll, yes, I do have a grandson. I'm a whole 50, about to be 51 years old. And thank you for the compliment.
22.
When's your birthday?
Honey, looking all the 22, because I ain't sold my what? So,
50 where?
Period. When's your birthday?
July 8th. I am a Cancerian.
Cancer.
It's coming up. Okay.
Yes.
My mom just celebrated her 51st birthday last month. Yeah.
Yes. So, I want to give an opportunity for a business. If you want to put it in the question box. I don't know. There was someone who, I don't know if he's still on here. Let me look and see. I'm ready when you are. Okay. Yes. Is he still there? I'm sorry. I got to figure out how to get this. I want to give him the opportunity to flex his vocal skills if he's still on here.
Oh, yeah. Right. Listen,
hold on. We're about to get a little vocal performance, because I've been going and I'm going to not be going. Okay, well, he's not on here right now, so I can't give him his moment. Man. But just request, and then right.
I was ready.
He was ready. Right, but it might have took a minute for it to happen.
I wanted to see if he was R&B 90s R&B certified.
We want to see if he's 90s R&B certified. Come on now. Okay, so I got a question for both of y'all.
Yes, ma'am.
Are y'all gonna watch Nasty Btches? I mean, Queens.
Yes, I am actually.
You gonna watch
check it out?
Brandy.
I love Brandy, so I'm gonna check it out. See, I feel like if Brandy is on it, right, there has to be a certain kind of quality, you know, that's gonna be
in
there.
My mind. That's how I'm thinking.
We ain't never seen her do no mess.
I'm going to put the name out my mind.
Right.
And we're going to see.
We're going to check it out.
What the pilot be like.
We're going to check it out.
And,
we're going to check it out.
You know,
You gonna see where the money reside? Where the money reside?
Where the money reside? Sean. What's up, Sean?
Hey, Darius.
What's up, darling?
Well, hello there.
I wasn't really ready. I sat it in and I wasn't ready.
You needed a little lemon tea, a little lemon water.
Yeah, I just need to tweak something a little bit.
Okay, let me let you go and tweak it. I'm gonna pull you out and then we're gonna pull you back in.
Okay.
All right, he gonna get his tweaking in right quick. We gonna see what he working with. We gonna see what he working with. Hey, Belle. Okay, let me shout out you guys. If you're not following my sister, the only Belle, y'all better follow the only Belle. She is one of the most incredible. I want you on here, Belle. So let me know if you're feeling it. Just send in a little request. Talk about 90s R&B. Listen, Belle is an incredible singer. She's an incredible songwriter. She done worked with Kanye West. She co-wrote the theme song for R&B Divas with me. She's an incredible mom. She has two of the most amazing kids. Y'all make sure y'all follow my sister, the only Belle. One of the dopest songwriters that ever was. So anyway, somebody said, Nicci, you look like you lost weight. I better. She said, she's recording new music as we speak. Black Butter Soul said, y'all know Brandy is gonna be ratchet on the new show. I know Brandy is super duper talented. That's what I do know. That's what I can tell you. And I think that there is going to be a lot of great singing and a lot of great music. I just want them to change the name. I want to watch the show too. I can't watch it until they change the name from the Nasty Btches. Do y'all think it matters? Let me ask you guys as millennials, do you think that it matters that the name of the group is the Nasty Btches? Be honest.
Okay, now I'm not gonna lie. I was surprised when they said that was the name. I was like, oh dang. Okay. Because I didn't think Brandy would like
go for
allow
something.
that. You know what I'm saying? Like sign on to something like that. Does it really bother me? No. But I do would like to know like why they call it Nasty Btches? Like why of all the names that you could have came up with, why that? I do want to know like where did that come from?
Yeah, I can't. I'm sorry. That's my protest.
In trying to change the way we are viewed, it absolutely does matter because it's allowed. We let it happen. We support these things. So the moneymakers don't see no reason to change anything. Why? You're gonna come.
And what? Yeah. Okay. Right, Bill. Right. The name of the people has been Nasty Btches behind closed door. I suppose we live in a more open world. Ooh.
Well.
Preach.
We are called worse behind closed doors. Yes.
First of all, Bill, that right there was so much truth. The reason I can't tune in is because I think, and even though my one little, moment of not tuning in won't really cause a dent in what they're trying to do, but it's because I know that I'm contributing to them being hugely successful and feeling like, well, nobody else cares that it's the Nasty Btches, so we're going to make all of you. Now, pretty soon it's going to be, the Black Bitches.
Right. Lord Jesus.
I mean, I hate to say it.
But it's true.
If we watch it and we subscribe to it, then it could potentially turn into that really, 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 really fast. What's up, 90s? What's up, 90s?
That's the homie right there.
I gotta say something because I'm excited. Because I'm a fan. Like, first, I'm speechless because I'm up here with Nicci. So this is kind of like...
Whatever. I'm up here with you. Everybody know you, baby. Everybody know you.
No, because I really like Brownstone's like one of my favorites. One of my favorite groups.
Thank you.
And I listen to y'all faithfully. And I post y'all all the time. So
yes, you do. Like you from New Orleans, ain't you, baby?
No, I'm from VA.
You from New Orleans?
No, I'm from VA.
VA?
Virginia.
Oh, I thought it was New Orleans. Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Not that happened. But like, I'm a real fan. I definitely want to say it's an honor to be up here with you, because it's like, I would have never imagined being like up here with you. So it's kind of like, I really wasn't prepared for it. So it's kind of like, I'm fanning out right now. So just give me like 2 minutes.
Are you sure? Okay. You want us to come?
No, I'm good. I just need like,
Sean, come on, friend, get it together.
He just gotta calm his nerves a little
it's
bit.
just crazy.
Calm his nerves a little bit.
No,
You need me to?
but I get
Sean,
it.
she just Auntie Nikki. That's Auntie
That's
Nikki.
Auntie
Go
Nikki.
ahead.
But it's just,
Go ahead and relax. That's
this
Auntie
is
Nikki.
Nikki for Brownstone.
Okay, this for you. This for you and all of y'all.
Like,
You looked into my eyes.
Yeah.
You said to me that night that you would never cheat on me or break my heart. Inside, I never knew your love was so untrue. I thought that I was your only. Boy, was I wrong, so wrong. Never do something that'll catch up to ya. You did me wrong, told me lies. Never do something that you'll live to regret. You hurt me so bad, babe. Deep in my heart, I feel sorry for you. You had to lose a damn good thing. Loving me could have been good. Losing my love was a shame, baby.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
still sound good.
Stay sing on, Nikki. Stay sing.
Yes. Let me say this before I forget. You look, old lady ain't even warmed up. I've been drinking. Okay. Anyway, 27th, catch Brownstone. We did a pass the mic with DJ Cassidy. So after the Image Awards, y'all got to make sure y'all watch the Image Awards on BET. All right.
Okay.
So 90s move. Let's switch up a little bit. Let's talk about music.
Ooh.
Obviously, you are a fan of 90s R&B, right?
Yes.
And with that being said, what are your thoughts on the Nasty Btches of R&B right now?
It's different. it's very different. I don't feel like I don't really like to compare, because I know everybody's different, but I always try to, some things I do contribute from back in the day until now. Like, I feel like back in the day, it was more so about talent and more so about, being original. And today is more so about, okay, let me see if I can just shake my ass a little bit and, sell a record. I mean, to each his own. But for me, I feel like stuff like that doesn't last long.
Yeah,
everybody's
it's the longevity for me. The longevity for me. It's right. The longevity for me.
Right.
Are we going to be, listening to that, 20 years from now? It's been almost 30 years since our first album came out.
Ugh, and I still listen
If You Love Me still going. What y'all say? That still go hard, or what y'all say now? What's the new word?
Yeah.
I'm on the live with a bunch of millennials.
It's lit. It's lit. It's fire.
Fire.
It's one. All that.
I love it.
Yeah.
So, who are some of your favorite? Let's switch gears a little bit. It's a lot of people doing dope stuff in social media. I was so excited. Remember, Shar? Okay, so we had a dinner for Shar's mom at my house, and they were playing Ari, and I didn't know the song, and I was like, oh my God, who is this? She sounds so good. And the very next day she posted Brownstone Grapevine, and I was like, well, damn, she like Brownstone. I was all geeked, like, okay, come on, y'all get. So who do you love out here? Anybody can go. Who's really super dope in music right now?
How current do they have to be? Like, or how new? No, I'm only saying because I'm not gonna lie to you on Nikki.
I need y'all to tell me who's dope in y'all's age group. What millennials think? Okay, we know y'all like. We already know, it goes without saying. Anything from 90s back there was amazing. and y'all love everybody.
But I'm trying not to compare that.
I know.
So we're not gonna compare. The 90s for me. I'm just sorry. It's hard.
It's the 90s. Okay, Jay Swift said her. Tosh said Summer Walker.
Ooh, Jasmine Sullivan. Jasmine.
I was about to say that.
Jasmine Sullivan.
Oh, listen. Yeah. Jasmine Sullivan is the truth behind the truth. Okay, somebody said Kalani. Somebody said Lucky Day. Janae. How do you say it? Y'all tell me how you say it.
I think Aiko.
I think
Aiko.
The I is like an E. The I is like an E.
Aiko.
Yeah.
Jennifer Hudson, of course, Kiki Wyatt, SZA. So who's got a whole body of work? Who has the dopest body of work out here in music right now?
I actually like Tiana Taylor.
What?
Hello. Tiana is dope.
Come on, Tiana Taylor.
She's talented. Her first album was really dope. I actually got a chance to listen to all her albums, but her first album is my favorite personally because it's more so R&B. It's more so her, which I like it. But she's dope. She's very talented.
She's all around great performer.
Yeah, very versatile.
Yeah. What's up, Chief Gobby? Chief Gobby said Jasmine Sullivan and her. Of course, Monica, Fantasia, that's my girl.
Fantasia
I'm waiting for some new stuff to come out from Fantasia. But Tiana Taylor, she's so dope because she's such a great multi-hyphenate. I love the fact that she is also producing, she is writing, directing. She was in Coming to America. Did y'all see? Okay, let's talk about Coming to America. Did anybody see Coming to America?
I haven't watched it yet.
What?
It's good. I enjoyed it.
Let me tell y'all why I haven't watched it. I'm gonna watch it. I've been a little nervous to watch it because I feel like with classics, sometimes just leave it alone. Like, don't touch it. Just let it be. Okay. But I am gonna check it out. I am. But I've been a little apprehensive about it.
That was a fear of mine as well. But
same.
Okay.
He never disappoints.
He did not.
Okay.
He did not.
Okay.
He did not. Because I heard he went on hiatus because somebody said something about his acting in Norbit or something like that. And I didn't see the interview, but yeah.
Norbit's actually very funny.
It was.
It's funny as hell.
I thought it was chocolate or sexual relations or something. Somebody said Kelly Rowland. Yeah, listen to me when I say that Kelly Rowland.
She don't get her
I'm just a fan of her whole.
That's my
aura.
Like, she's just so fine.
Ooh,
and
Kelly is
so
dope.
she reminds me of Mary Wilson from the Supremes. Like, it's just something about her spirit.
She just got a spirit
beautiful,
that's just so inviting,
perfect,
calming, and welcoming.
And she's so poised and just like a
yes,
womanly.
Yes, that right there.
She's just womanly. I love her.
So Belle said something very smart, which was that Chris Brown is one of the few artists out here that's really trying to give us a body of work. So, okay, well, what was that, 90s Move? Come on.
Oh, see, I cannot. My face expression. I cannot have my face expression.
You speaking
at
so
all.
with that
Lord
face.
Jesus. Okay. Chris Brown, he's from where I'm from, so Chris Brown, he's definitely had open doors for, many artists, or just people in general from VA. I just feel like, a lot of his music sound the same. That's just it for me. A lot of his music sound the same. It's just, I like Chris Brown, don't get me wrong, but, it just sound the same. So it's like, I'm always trying to figure out, okay, so what's going to be next? And everything just sound the same for me. But I do, I vibe with him.
Okay. I can respect his consistency. Like, I know.
Yeah, I agree.
Chris Brown coming out with something soon.
I
know
agree.
that.
He's like basically the only one.
I can get with that.
But y'all know
he's a triple threat. Like, he's a singer, he's an actor,
dancer,
dancer. He does it all. Yep, absolutely.
But y'all know, like, Chris put like 20 songs on one album. Like 20 songs.
20.
Yeah, I can't.
See, there used to be something called a cap back in the day. So you only got paid for 12 in the 90s.
No,
so doing 20 was kind of a waste of time and money because they would only pay you on 12 records.
But I think he's independent now, right?
Is he? I don't know. That's really interesting. So when is the last time one of you millennials on this panel bought an actual whole entire album, or anybody watching? When the last time you bought a whole body of work, a whole record?
The last CD I bought was J. Cole,
He's dope.
Was it college dropout? I think
I think it was.
No, that was Kanye. What was it? University something?
Is that the one on there? They say the neighbors think I'm selling dope. I love that record.
No, this one was the one with him sitting down with the Letterman jacket. I forget, but it was J. Cole. It was probably
J. Cole.
Like 2000.
Somebody said Meg Thee Stallion's whole album, August. What happened to August Alsina? Does anybody know?
He's been quiet after the entanglement.
He what?
He's been quiet since the,
after he announced his entanglement.
He was
hiding.
Oh, that was an entanglement. That's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
We ain't gonna say nothing about the entanglement because Jada is my girl. It's a lot of entanglements happening out here. Somebody said the last album they bought was Marsha Ambrosius. Somebody said Jay-Z, American Gangster. Absolutely. Somebody said Jay Holiday. Somebody said the last record I bought was Michael Jackson Bad, and I got the vinyl.
Are we talking about physical albums?
Like a physical
CD?
No, I'm saying
like
a body of work. Okay, well, physical albums haven't been out in the 90s. I'm not saying y'all done went to the record store and bought a whole physical album because they don't sell them no more.
Because I was like,
if you up in the record store getting physical albums, then Auntie got
middle
a problem.
school.
So, right.
Okay, the last album I got, Toni Braxton. Her most recent album, Spell My Name.
Yes. Now, Toni, listen.
I'm a huge Toni fan. I don't play like her.
Me too. I love
Toni. Toni Braxton gave us a body of work. I was on the Grammy board, and I remember just sitting in the room. You have to listen to everybody's music, and I was like, "Yo, that body of work, that thing she did with Babyface, was so fire and so complete. Beginning, middle, and end."
The Marriage album, right? The Marriage and Divorce album with Babyface, that one?
Yes. Where she had that Long As I Live record on there?
Yeah.
Oh no. Those are two different albums.
What album was that?
Now I'm confused.
So
I thought that was on.
She had her duet album with Babyface, which won her a Grammy, right, in 2015, because that's R&B album. Then after that, she did her solo album, which is Long As I Live. Now that's fire too. But then most recently she has out Spell My Name. That's her most recent album. But that Long As I Live album, even though she got those 3 Grammy nominations, I felt like she should have walked away with something. Oh yeah, that's the Sex and the Cigarettes album. Yeah,
I felt like she should have walked away with something too.
And she ain't win, and I was a little offended by who did walk away.
Man,
these
what Grammy Awards and stuff, I don't be vibing with it.
I'm sorry.
Stuff of it, I don't be. That ain't my. I don't like it.
Do you say that's not your judge?
Yeah,
I do wish though our artists would put more emphasis and support into our own award shows.
Agreed.
That too.
Because it's crazy to me how certain artists, you be nominated for like 8 Soul Train Awards and you don't never show up.
Mm-hmm. Woo! Right.
Or BT
Awards.
That
Grammy Awards situation.
Or BT Awards.
Didn't Homegirl say it wasn't even an album, it was an EP?
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh, okay.
When they start being nominated,
Apparently now.
Yeah.
It's acceptable now.
It's the thing.
You ain't even gotta put that much work into
well, people don't really put out albums anymore. They throw out singles. And you put a single out, let it bump for about 3 months, and then another one. Bump for about 3 months, then another one. And really, at this point, it's all about TikTok songs. TikTok.
Exactly. Come on.
So, question
TikTok
to you then, Miss
okay,
Nicci.
so we were talking about social currency.
Yeah.
If you don't have a hit on TikTok, it's a wrap, right? You have to be popular on TikTok in order to, isn't that the new thing that record labels have to do now?
Yeah.
With the kids,
get an artist on TikTok.
That's the new thing.
Mm-hmm.
But I made a TikTok. But I actually would do it. I'm actually trying to incorporate 90s R&B with the. Well, I wouldn't say I do TikTok. I do the reels on Instagram.
Yeah, I
like the reels. Yeah.
Yeah, and Nicci, you had commented on the Brownstone one that I did.
Oh, that's the one where they was like, "Am I sucking?" That's that one.
Huh?
Was that the one where they? Was that the one where they were? Y'all, you know what I'm talking about. Was that the one where they said, did she say
when the brownstone beat
I'm
drop?
looking for just some, you know what?
Nah.
Oh,
Nah,
no.
I said the one with the when the brownstone beat drop. For If You Love Me.
I know exactly what you're talking about, and I love you so much, and that was
I was like,
incredible. No, that was so. No, y'all know what I was thinking. Did y'all see that meme that was going around where people were like, "Oh, I didn't know she said that."
No, yeah, I seen that.
Where
No. Oh, no, I
for
didn't get
just some yeah. Right.
I wouldn't say that.
No, you did the beat drop.
Yeah. Like I'm serious because I'm a fan, and I did the artist appreciation like a few weeks ago, probably like a few months ago with you. Like I celebrated like because I feel like you're like a vocal powerhouse and you don't really get your credit and you're just due. And I really feel like I feel like we need a tribute for Brownstone and just other girl groups because I feel like you had set the bar in the 90s for so many girl groups, you know what I'm saying, today or past, you know what I'm saying, or in the past, you know what I'm saying, y'all definitely did a thing.
That's
and like y'all are like fire, y'all is like choir, singing, natural, rawness. I just love it and I'm a fan, so it's an honor to be here with you.
So dope. Yes, I love that. That when the beat dropped, I was like, oh my God, this is crazy. And you're right. There's so many girl groups out there. I mean, and it's crazy because are there any groups now? Can y'all tell me?
June's Diary, they're dope.
Well, yes, June's Diary is dope.
June's Diary.
June's Diary. Oh, yeah, they're amazing.
Crazy.
Yeah, they're very dope. And they're so polished. Their live show is off the chain.
Yeah.
Like,
That's that Frank Gaston.
They're really rehearsed. They are really thorough. Yeah, I absolutely love them. And that's the reason why I've been going so hard with these representations of the 90s and people coming up with these shows and these names and stuff like that. Because I truly believe that 90s R&B inspired generations of people. It's great music. I believe that the 90s was one of the best eras in music.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And that's why they call it the golden era. So I fight tooth and nail just to make sure that, you know, we're represented. And I love and appreciate y'all for keeping hope alive for the 90s R&B singers, especially during this pandemic, because most of us make a living off of touring, right? Which is something that's going to be a little bit of challenge for a lot of these artists here today, but I ain't going to say no name. Nobody. I'm just going to say, if you can tour 20-some years after your record came out, then you're doing something.
Hello.
I mean, what's up with the girl group tour, Auntie? What's up with the girl group tour?
Ooh, let me know.
Listen, I'm all here for the girl group tour. As a matter of fact, I've reached out to some folks to see if we can kind of try to put something together. You know, I'm also trying to do not R&B divas, to be clear, but I'm trying to do something that is, you know, similar in that it's just a bunch of really amazing women from music and coming together to go on the road and to share our stories. And, you know, I think it's important to preserve the legacy of R&B. It's so many dope. I remember when we did, what was that? We did the Trumpet Awards and we honored Shaka Khan.
Yeah.
That
was awesome.
I remember Shaka saying that it's up to us to continue the legacy. And I, you know, hear that all the time. And I think I don't want to let the Shakas, the Dionne Warwicks, we've lost so many people in music, y'all. We have lost so many incredible, amazing, talented people. So I do not take it for granted that y'all support our music. I don't take it for granted that you're inspired by what we did. And I just work my ass off to preserve. Look at these sweatshirts. We got 3 people on the damn live with the sweatshirts on.
I need to know about the sweatshirts.
You gotta get with it. I gotta get with it
because I just feel left out. Like I need to get up there. I need to go make my purchase.
All you got to do is send me the information. I got you. Done.
I need a hat now. I gotta get the hat on, Nikki. I gotta get the hat.
Hey, I'm with it.
Done.
I'm with it.
So tell us real quick what y'all got going on in your individual entrepreneur lives. You can elaborate a little bit, 90s, on where obviously everybody on this live know who you are because everybody like, woo, woo.
Right.
Tell us what you working on, what you got up your sleeve.
Right now I'm doing a podcast right now.
Oh, great.
Which is different because I'm just trying to do with the podcast. I'm just trying to appreciate artists of the 90s and like get into like albums because I listen to albums. That's like how I get everything going. So I'm trying to come out with a podcast. Doing reels.
Podcast yet?
Say that again.
Do you have a name for it?
90s Mood Podcast.
90s Mood Podcast?
Yeah, 90s Mood Podcast.
Nice.
Just celebration of R&B music. 90s R&B.
Love it.
So I'm doing that, and I'm also doing the reels. So I'm just celebrating 90s R&B. I just feel about paying respect to artists. That's all I'm big about. Like I say it all the time. I'm big on paying respect, and hopefully, maybe in the future, I'll come out with hopefully with an award show and stuff like that. Do different
What's your
stuff.
award show? Come on, let's speak it. Okay, don't tell all your ideas.
Yeah,
what is it? The like R&B? We just gonna.
It's basically R&B, just giving awards out to artists, even big name artists, but really underrated artists that don't get their credit and they're just due. So I'm big on that. So it's just like when I listen to, prime example, if I listen to y'all, Brownstone, if I listen to Brownstone, I'd be like, I listen to this, I'd be like, this deserves something. You know what I'm saying? This deserves something. Or, this deserves this deserves that. And I'm just big on just paying respects to artists, just like you, Auntie Nicci, because I feel like you're like one of the best. And I say that all the time on my page. I do say it. I be like, Brownstone ain't nothing to play with. I mean, Brownstone harmonies is, they're not compared. I'm sorry. They're not compared to nobody. You can't compare them to a guy group and be like, okay, no, Brownstone ain't on lane. If you listen to Brownstone, listen.
It's like a choir.
Yeah,
Right.
You give good love is my job.
That music that had you be like just zoned out.
Ooh. Yeah, that's my job. I'm telling you.
Hey, listen, the way Maxie, listen. The way Maxie start that verse off, oh, you give good love, have you ever loved someone? Woo! My sister has
Maxie's voice is crazy.
It's sick.
Versatile. She can, she really can do it. Like, do it all.
Yeah, she was amazing. She had the power. She had the ability to be sweet. Listen, I just had a big ass mouth. Maxie pocket and a vibe and a whole, like, that was that South American.
Yeah.
That range, though. That range.
Yeah.
That range is sick.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think it's huge that you're talking about doing something to honor, R&B singers. And it's really interesting. And I know you probably already know this, but we just talked earlier about the importance of ownership and the importance of making sure that, you have something to leave as a legacy. So just make sure that as you're putting this thing together, that you own it and you license it. Okay. So you come and any advice that you need on TV, production, special stuff. You're based in Virginia.
Yes.
But anything you need in terms of advice, I'm in 100%. I'm saying it right. I'm in 100%. I will absolutely reach out to any of my friends, which all of them are already following you because of all the love that you show us. But I think it's so important to lift the next generation, especially if you're reaching back and saying, hey, y'all old ladies was pretty fresh. And going on
Still fresh. Still fresh.
Still
fresh.
Still
ain't
fresh.
going nowhere.
Experience, Tisha and Aaron, honey, let's get ready for it. Get ready, like Tisha said. But I love that you're reaching back into the stacks is what we used to call it. And I think it's long overdue because there's so many award shows and so many places where R&B does not get recognition. They get the awards, but they don't show them on camera. It's always previously in the R&B category, such and such one. And I think that it is so whack. I've let them know. So I ain't saying nothing that I haven't said to them. I think it's super whack that a lot of these award shows don't acknowledge us. So anything you're doing to acknowledge R&B, I think is dope. And we would absolutely love to support in any way we can. But own your shit.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Own your shit. And y'all got it made because in social media, it's easier for you to put something out there and then let it go by, then it just blows up. So
yeah.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Darius, what you working?
My brother.
What's up? So listen, y'all know. All right, so I have my show right now. No goofy shit. Okay, so yes, it's called No Goofy Shit because it's just about being real, uncut, being honest, and showing a different light of us. And so one of our big specials that I do every Sunday is called Soulful Sundays. And so, like my bro Sean, I like to honor, those artists that do not get their just due. So, I do have artists on like the Jones Girls and CeCe Peniston and, Mila from 702. And seeing my aunt Nicci won't come on, y'all, one day.
I'm coming when you want me. Just tell Tosh when you want me. I'm there.
Auntie Tosha told me I had to build up my content.
No, I'm telling you right now. That's my boss, but I'm telling you right now.
Okay. Because I built it up. You know what I'm saying? I had a couple R&B divas on there,
I'm coming.
Okay. Okay, good. Yeah, so I'm working on that. I mean, still working on that. Like you said, owning it. So I do own the name of No Goofy Shit, and I'm working on the actual approval, the official logo, so that I can license that, so I can have that. And soon I would like to expand it to having like a big banquet or celebration where, like my bro, where I do honor different artists, with like icon awards and things like that. Because for me, ain't no reason why Brownstone ain't got the Lady of Soul award. I'm just saying.
Right.
Excuse me, but we performed at the Lady of Soul Awards.
No, I need you to have the official honor.
Y'all need it.
I need you to be the honoree, okay?
Y'all
the official
need
Lady of Soul. You deserve. So yes, I'm
real.
working on that. I do event planning as well. So I'm gonna tie all that into it, and I would like my show to go a little bigger, and I would like to actually expand it to a panel like this soon. So, and actually, Sean and I are doing something the end of this month.
Yes.
We're actually, this is Women's Month, y'all. This is Women's Month, y'all. So I've been doing really powerful women on the show all this month. And at the end of this month, we are going to end it all to celebrate the Waiting to Exhale soundtrack.
Love it.
Yes.
You try to come on, Auntie. You try to come on and talk about it. You try to come on.
We need Auntie to pop through now. We need her. Hey. This a legend right here. This a legend.
Oh, yes, y'all. I am from Baltimore. Somebody just said, is Darius from Baltimore? Yeah, I'm from Baltimore, y'all. Y'all hear that, too.
All in your speech.
Come on, Merle.
Yes, so that is what I'm working on right now and building that, and hopefully make it to the big screen and, a big platform. But I would like, it to be on a platform that is by us and for us. I don't want to just put my show on any type of, network and it not be fully, supported and showing me and the guests in a positive light.
Yeah, it's important. It's super important. We talked about that earlier. You guys, I know I beat the dead. There's the horse and the bloody bat because I beat the dead horse all day. When I say ownership, right? You often hear me getting it on my lives and going on a rant or two about, it's 28 years later and we're still unrecouped. You know what I mean? That's not just about complaining because that's not what my spirit is about. I think being reactive is one thing. Being proactive is an entirely different thing. And I'm always about being proactive. So the proactiveness, if it meant for me that Brownstone recorded a record and we didn't get paid like we wanted to or like we thought we should have, if it provides me the opportunity to share with future generations of owners, intellectual property owners, and young people to own your shit.
Yeah.
I know we want the quick fix. I know we want the likes. I know we want the social media currency. Mm-hmm. That is why we're building this platform. Worth TV. I run it in the ground. WIRF TV. It's about women in reality, film, television, and music. And it is a platform and an opportunity for us to own the narrative, for us to have a little piece of that legacy, a little piece of that, because entertainment, it is no joke. I don't know what the entertainment industry is going to be when y'all become my age, right? I'm a whole 50, about to be 51. I don't know what it's going to be like, but I know that if you own your content, if you own and control your intellectual property, then you will go much farther and you will have so much available to share and pass down in your legacies, right? Yeah. Try not to ever sell. License is what
I was going to ask you that. Yes. Like, how does that work? Like with TV and stuff?
It's so in a nutshell. So let me give you an example. I'm give y'all a school. Get ready, and then I'm going.
Yes, yes. I'm sitting in. Let me sit close.
Hold on. Let me make sure that oven ain't still on. I'm tripping.
Okay. Don't burn the food up. Don't burn the food. Listen, I love it. This has been so much fun, y'all. This has been so much fun.
It has. Sean, is you singing or no?
Oh, no, I ain't singing.
I don't think that was him. But that one, you said that she was going to sing.
You who was ready?
I think that was somebody else who said they was going to sing.
He said.
I listen to the music. I don't sing the music.
Right. So, let me tell you this. What's so important, guys, the difference between selling something and licensing something in the entertainment industry, right? So R&B Divas was a show that I created, and I say it all the time, and I say it for a reason. Because at the time that I created the show, I didn't know I didn't know shit about TV, right? In terms of, it was the first show that I'd ever sold. I had this really amazing idea. You know, I was like, hey, reach out to Selena and Lil Mo and Tweet, a bunch of them in the beginning. I reached out to all of them. I was like, hey, listen, y'all, I want to put this thing together. We had done a show called Soul Kittens Cabaret, P-Valley. I didn't just do that. Tosha, your mama gonna trip. But anyway.
Okay. All right. All right.
I done a show called. So,
you speaking truth?
I'm just speaking the truth. Hello.
Hey, keeping it stacked. Keep it 100.
No, look, no goofy shit.
Hello.
Somebody else did this, but we gonna get where the money reside and the decision's done. So I'm sure I'm tripping because my attorney probably on this live. Like, what are you doing? So, created Soul Kittens Cabaret. We all stayed in the house. We kind of documented the journey of that. I thought, hey, this would be a great story to tell in the reality or docuseries TV space, with just kind of the journey of our struggle and, you know, people considered us has-beens and kind of getting back, you know, into the world of entertainment, whatever. So my husband and I worked our asses off, you know, leveraged his credit to put together a sizzle reel, which is, well, not even a sizzle reel, a pilot episode, because we shot for like probably 2 weeks. Flew Selena down, flew Monifa down, you know, brought her, I was like, hey, we're going to get this, it's going to get picked up. So then did not understand that I needed to own OWN. Thank you, Oprah Winfrey, for letting us know the importance of that. Did not know that I needed to own the content. So I just did a deal where I was an executive producer and always connected to the show because it was my brainchild, but I did not have ownership, which meant I could not shift the direction of the show. I could not say, hey, no, we're not going to do that drinking and fighting and arguing. I had no say in any of that. The company that didn't look anything like us, didn't really understand, you know, who we were. But, you know, I have to say that, you know, I don't like to say I live with any regrets, right? Because I think everything happens to us to teach us something. It's only something that you regret if you did not learn a lesson that you could pass down to younger generations, i.e. the folks I'm talking to tonight, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. And the people who are listening. So I'm not going to say I regret it, but I wish that I had known not to give the ownership to people who did not look like us, not to give the control to people who do not look like us, because that meant that there was a somewhat culturally incompetent white male lens determining all of these legacies, all of these legendary artists that you just talked about, all of it, you know what I mean? Like, yeah. Unfortunately, when I realized that there was nothing that I could do and the direction was kind of going like this for me, I stepped off the boat. because I felt like the ship was retaining water, and it went away eventually. But a lot of crazy things happened, and it taught me that moving into the next phase of my career, that I needed to have ownership. So I reached out to Queen Latifah and Shakim, who I'd actually pitched this idea to them before it got picked up by TV One. And I'll never forget, Shakim was like, listen, I reached out to someone else and I was like, hey, listen, I want to do another show. I want this to be from the bottom up. I want it to be based on the album From the Bottom Up. I want this to be a show about women who made mistakes and bad decisions and hit rock bottom. But I need to be able to control the narrative here, because I know that I'm not going to leave. I'm all about girl power and sister power. And I'm never going to leave my sisters out in the, just out there. So I was 100% confident that if I had ownership, I could steer this thing in the right direction. Shakim agreed. So we went and pitched it to BET Her, and we pitched it to them as a license, which basically means that we still own it. We're still partners. What you want is a partnership in every situation, right? You don't have to own all of it. You just need to own enough of it, a majority interest, so that you can make, especially something that comes from here.
Yes.
Right? Your show, your podcast, all of the things that y'all are doing. Shar, all of the stuff you're doing in wellness and beauty and women. You understand what I'm saying? You have got to own your brand. When you start looking at people in social media, a lot of these people who have these social media handles with millions and millions and millions of followers don't even own their name. A lot of them are in 360 deals. A lot of them. So you see them getting all this money and you see them being super duper popular, but what you don't know is they have a big machine that's connected to another big machine that's connected to another big machine. And all those big machines are like, okay, well, you give her this Gap deal, and then I'll make sure that over here we get the cocktail deal, and then over here we get the resort deal. So all these deals are connected by all of these people who own these brands and stuff. And unfortunately, the artists always end up getting the short end of the stick, right? So when you license something, that means you go to them and you say, hey, listen, I got this idea. And in our case, luckily, we were able to have someone, I had a financial partner who was like, okay, I get it. And, I believe in it. So what you want to get is a financial partner or financial investor who don't want to be all up in the videos. Dan. And then you want a distribution partner, who in our case, it was BET or TV One or whatever. And you want to roll up your sleeves and you want to do the work, right? And you want to realize that, to Pam's point earlier, which this has turned into a 2.5-hour live, I'm going to have to get off here, but I'll be back tomorrow for sure. But to Pam's point, you want to plant the seeds, you want to fertilize the soil, you know what I'm saying? And you want to watch something grow. So now we're From the Bottom Up wasn't necessarily one of the bigger shows on the network. Is something that we co-own with, and again, partnership with Queen Latifah and Shakim and BET. So that means when you go and you license it overseas, when you license it in other countries, when I'm old and gray and somebody wants to re-air old episodes, my grandson and his kids can eat off of that, right? I can take that equity out. And I'm just going to give you an example on the number side. And I'm just throwing out hypotheticals, right? So let's say that somebody says, okay, I'm going to buy this series from you, and I'm going to pay you $100,000 to license this series from you per episode, right? If you are hired as a talent to do, and again, these numbers are way different than what I'm giving you, but I can't give y'all all the game, because then people, why are you running your mouth telling our business? Right. But let's just say it was $100,000 an episode. But at $100,000 an episode, you get 10 episodes. That's what? $1 million, right?
Right.
As a talent, or as a person who gets hired to do the job, you might make $2,000 an episode times 10. That's $20,000, right?
Okay.
So the math, and again, you're not gonna make the whole $1 million. Let's say you make 500,000. Let's say you make 350,000, but you're still in 6 and 7 figures versus, oh, thank you for your service. We are very glad. That was wonderful. And then white America.
Yeah.
So when I start talking about things like Nasty Btches and Pussy Valleys and all of these things that I personally think, again, I don't have any problem with people making money. I want to see Black people win. I want to see Black actors and actresses work. I want to see Black producers behind the scenes, above the line, you know, all of that, below the line staff. I want to see all of us win. I'm rooting for all of us. But when you are making all this money, treating people like work for hires, paying them pennies, and a narrative that is destructive in our community, and you just really fucking us up. Because you're not allowing us to build wealth and equity, and you're also ruining our reputations and our images and our narratives. So I'm like, if you're going to fight on television, give Mayweather money. If you're going, you understand what I'm saying? If you're going to put you in a situation where you get what you're worth, make sure that there's value. So worth is about partnering with other people and saying, like Flavor Unit and Latifah partnered with me. You got a show idea, you got a concept, let's work on that together. I got a couple people over here on the side that we can do some distribution stuff with. Right now, streaming pays what? About 6 cents a stream or some shit like that, if that. In this situation at Work TV, you might be making $1 or $2. Because those of us who understand and have seen the little man behind the curtain, the wizard.
Right.
And it's not, and it's funny because it's fighting words for certain people, right? Because they're just so offended. How could she just, you know, because I love us. I'm tired of us being broken. I'm tired of people monopolizing, you know, our trauma, exploiting our trauma. You understand what I'm saying? And the only way that stops is if we have ownership of it, right? We have to have ownership of our narratives. We have to have ownership of our content. We have to be prepared to leave money on the table because people don't know us. They don't live in our communities. They don't eat our food. They don't shop in our stores, and they don't listen to our music. The only examples of us that they have are the ones that they see on television, film, and music. So it shapes people's perspectives of who we are. So when you're in an Uber, they don't think you're going to do what them chicks did.
Yeah, that's wild.
A store with a nice R&B hoodie on, they don't think that you understand what I'm saying? So it's important, if you are going to give people control of your image and your likeness and your life and your story to exploit for profit, that you are at least in some form of a partnership or an equity position. Because otherwise, we're doing what we have done for hundreds of years, right? Nina Simone worked her ass off. She told all the story, you know, this did y'all see the Billie Holiday movie? That's another example. You understand what I'm saying? Because we did not know. So it's our responsibility to articulate to the future generations that we are seeds. So they can try to bury us if they want to. But this conversation I'm having with y'all and everybody here watching is so important because that is the only way we build generational wealth. That is the only way we can get rid of these curses that are in our communities, preventing us from moving forward and progressing. And that is my mission and purpose in my life, to share my experiences, not to complain about them and not to be reactive, but to be proactive and to share them and to say the most important thing you can do for yourself in any situation in this business is find a way to own your narrative, own your content, own your story. That's it. Ain't no level of popularity worth selling it out.
Right.
And they make it so enticing. Right? They make it so like such and such just got, you know, somebody call me, oh, you should call such and such because they got a lot of stuff going on. But yeah, Mona Scott don't own Love and Hip Hop. And look at what Love and Hip Hop has done in our,
Ooh. Ooh. Auntie is speaking. I mean, she ain't told no lie.
No lies told.
That's
right. Dave Chappelle had to call Netflix out because they owned his name. Nicci Gilbert Daniels and Brownstone. We sold 1 million records. If them records were sold for $5 a piece in the 90s, that was $5 million. Guess what? I still owe them $1 million 28 years later.
You owe who $1 million?
Lies.
What?
Why? They ain't recouped that. They recouped that money.
You know what? And here's the gag. The thing is, there's no conversation I can have with them to say, because I was 23. I was 23 years old, geeked up. Shit, I got to deal with Michael Jackson, please. And let me say this. Michael, the company looked out for us, and our deal is better than a lot of people's. Not a lot of people's, because I don't know what other people's contracts say, but based on the conversations that I've had with certain people in the industry, you know, and kind of talking about, they have shared with me that, you know, like we get on streaming 50% of streaming, right? Which is unheard of, right? But the thing is, it don't matter that you're getting 50% of streaming if every dollar you get has to go towards recouping. Still, at 50 years old, I made my first record at 24. At 50 years old, I'm still recouping $1 million, right? So I say all that to say, and it's not about, I don't want nobody to feel bad for me, because the fact that I can get on this live and have this conversation with future generations of moguls and dope ass people is enough, you know, of a reward for me, right? It was worth, you know, the stripes that I got. Now, would I like some more money? Hell to the yeah, to the yeah. Do I want to be able to put Braylon in creme de la creme? You know what I'm saying? And pay $1,000 a year for his education? Absolutely. But if I can't do it, then hopefully one of you can. Somebody listening, somebody watching. Hopefully you can look at my cautionary tale of still owing somebody $1 million almost 30 years later. Tory Lanez went quadruple diamond, I'm exaggerating, but off the chain numbers. Now I get paid as a writer because I wrote songs, but that's like literally like 2.5 cents. You understand? So music, to my point in television, Dave Chappelle, thank God Netflix made him a partner. And Netflix was like, you know what, we're going to give your name back. He had the power to be able to say, don't download it, don't watch it. That's power. That is why I use my platform every single day to remind my people. Like, there's shit that I could do to make money. I've been offered the opportunity to be on podcasts. I've been offered to try out, or whatever the case may be. It's not my zhuzh, because I already know them people going to try to get me on there and do what Think Factory did when I started saying, this is not right. And I'm the angry Black woman who's mean and disrespectful and don't nobody like and all this other shit. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just too old and too smart for that. But I want to just reiterate the importance of owning whatever you create, y'all. Whatever you create, try to own it. And it sometimes means that it's not going to look as hot to people on social media. It's not going to look, you're not going to look like you winning and balling and all of this other stuff. You know what I'm saying? But you see the pattern. You know, look at what happened with Tamar. I love Tamar. I think she's amazing. I think she's one of the most talented singers in the world. I think her voice is so fire and so dope. And I want to see more of that side of her. But the idea, and Tamar, forgive me, but I got to use this example, sis. Tamar and I actually had the Braxtons and Brownstone had the same manager at one point back in the day. But the fact that she was driven to the point, now mind you, before Tamar, and I'm so glad she was transparent and she said what was going on in her life and what she was going through. But before she expressed that, everybody was like, oh shit, Tamar, you know what I'm saying? Everybody thought it was crazy, right? So that's the narrative that we're perpetuating. You know, everything is great. You got a TV show, you got these albums, you got this, you got that, everything is great. Whitney Houston, oh, everything is great. Michael Jackson, everything is great. Prince, everything is great. Do I need to continue? Because they put us on these platforms and they put us on these pedestals and they make us believe almost the hype until you realize that they are chipping away and just destroying your soul to the point where Sister Tamar was like, I'm done. I don't even want to be here no more. Why is that the story with Black people in this industry all the time? Why did Vesta Williams die broke and alone in a hotel room?
Feel it's time.
Be a downer. I just need y'all to know this is real shit.
Right.
I don't want to own my masters. I wouldn't know what to do with them. And the industry is so caught up with, they'd be like, oh, that bitch on her masters. Don't play shit. Don't give her nothing. Don't stream that. They have that kind of power. But what I do want is I want a partnership. I want you to say, we've made hundreds of thousands of dollars, millions of dollars with you. You're 50 years old now. Like the NBA looks out for them. They all got shows hosting. Every NBA, NFL player, they'd be like, hey, I'm sitting up here with Skip and such, and we reviewing such, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. The only place you don't see that is in the entertainment industry. They're the only ones that do not take care of their legacy acts and their important folks. And I hate it. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, it's very important to do the work of whatever it takes to own it. Mm-hmm. And that's why we created Worth TV. So y'all can go to worthtv.com and register.
Absolutely.
For the people.
I'm registered.
For y'all. That's something for y'all. And when we say women, we say women because we're underserved and we take care of everything. Y'all know Black women ain't gonna get some and they're not gonna bring it to the table to feed
they treat Black women like trash when it comes to certain things. Well,
everything.
I can't say something. I say everything.
Right.
And it's sad. It's really sad. I don't like seeing that. And then,
but did you guys know? Y'all know, Swiss and Tim had they partnered up with Thriller for Versus. So now they're overseeing their creative process and everything. And also by them partnering with them, because they did kind of how you said, don't sell it, just kind of partner up with them. What they did was any artist that was on Versus as of today, they all are shareholders in Versus now.
Mm.
So every artist from Monica, Brandy, Patty, Gladys, Keisha, Ashanti, even the producer, all of them are now shareholders.
And that, that's it. That's it. Think about it. My husband and I, when we were coming in today, he was like, something, I just had the craziest thought. He was like, we was looking at somebody and we're like, oh, they got 400,000 followers, right? We're like, if all of their followers gave them $1, everybody can afford to give $1, right? If all of their followers gave them $1, that would give somebody $400,000, right? Mm-hmm. Then from that $1, they give somebody $2 who has 20,000 followers, right? And it sounds like one of those things like the pyramid or whatever, but just no strings attached. Bringing us in and helping each other. Because, and that's unfortunately what happens with Black women a lot. Now, we talk about all the bad things that happen that other people do to us. The thing that we do to ourselves is that we refuse to collaborate because we got to get ours first, right? Imagine if we did not have all of that infighting and madness and R&B divas and we were going into season 15 or season 20. Imagine how much wealth could have been built. Imagine how many careers and lives could have been changed. Imagine how many kids' educations could have been paid for so their kids could have gone to college and become doctors and lawyers and activists and politicians, right? R&B divas between season 1, season 2, LA, Hollywood divas, which they said wasn't my idea, but some bullshit. It was a powerful movement. Mm-hmm. Snatched away just like that. And most of us ain't even friends no more. Most of us don't even talk and acknowledge each other no more. We got sisters out here that are battling health issues, right? our sisters in music, our sisters in R&B that are aging, that are getting older, that are battling health issues. If R&B Divas was successful, think about all of your fake Tamias, Deborah Coxes, and all these people that would be so dope for fans to see on TV every single week, that would not touch it with a 10-foot pole because of what it did to me and to Kelly and to Chrisette and to everybody who was attached to it.
Yeah.
So when we started talking about taking care of each other and showing up for each other and respecting each other and helping each other to build generational wealth, we have to look at those situations and we have to look at those opportunities where we could have looked out for each other instead of being selfish and, oh, it's my turn and I got to be the lead person and I got to do this and I got to. If we had just worked together in the spirit of sisterhood and building each other up and not tearing each other down, we would be seasons into generational wealth.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Y'all feel me? So I know I'm a broken record, but it's something that bothers me because I see the opportunity that was ripped away from us. This ain't about Nicci Gilbert Daniels. As quiet as it's kept, I know you wouldn't believe it because I've been on live like it was a damn clubhouse for 3 hours.
We love it. We love it.
I'm here for it.
But it ain't even about me. It wasn't even about me. It was never about me. In fact, I wasn't even going to be involved in the first season on camera because I wanted to be involved behind the scenes and watch the watcher. Mm-hmm. But I stepped into it. The second season, I was like, no. They said the show ain't coming back unless you come back. Flew me to DC, had a whole meeting with the folks, and they're like, if you don't come back, it's a wrap.
Wow.
And I came back and it was some bullshit. So I say all that to say we have got to support each other and lift each other and encourage each other to own our narratives, because if we owned it, that wouldn't have been able to happen. Mm-hmm. Right?
Yes, ma'am.
So please keep building, keep acquiring, but do not sell your soul and do not sell your intellectual property rights, because it means a lot.
Yes.
You feel me? All right. So anyway.
We love you.
Always. Love you so much.
We love you. That was a good old auntie conversation.
Yeah, that was correct. I was feeling it. It touched me.
I was sitting here like, yes, ma'am.
Go on. Go on.
I love it.
I'm feeling all inspired instead.
I cry every night around 6:30, 7 o'clock. To just get on here because, at the end of the day, we wait for the opportunities to have the platforms. We wait for the opportunities to have a big, whatever. But what's more important is these one-on-one, 3-on-3, intimate, and I'm sorry, no disrespect to all the people who are watching. I love y'all for sticking with us and hanging out and watching this, but we've just got to start being transparent with each other. We got to stop pretending that everything is gravy. We think Taraji P. Henson, who is one of the dopest actresses on the planet, we think Taraji, and they paid her what? $40,000 for a movie she starred in?
Yeah.
Oscar nominated.
Well, something like that. Then we see old boy from Get Out, who was not even invited to the fucking premiere. No, you didn't know that? Oh,
yeah.
No. Season 2 premiere to the LA R&B Divas LA premiere. They did not. I created this motherfucker. I spent my money putting it together, and I did not get an invitation. Faith was like, "That's okay, friend. We gonna crash it," and that's what we did. I was not. So when I started in Hollywood too, so it is just so important for us to stop believing the hype and perpetuating the bullshit ass narrative that everything is so fresh and fly and everybody's so rich and everybody's so situated. If you don't have ownership, you don't have shit. At least partnership. And partnership means that you have some percentage of ownership. And anybody who doesn't want to give that to you, you don't want to be in business with.
Absolutely.
No matter how much money they're putting on the table. Unless it's enough money for you to put into something else and build generational. That disclaimer real quick. Right. We're talking a lot about don't take the money. If they paying you NBA money, you're not going to own the NBA team. You take that NBA money. I guess some people do. But you know what I'm trying to say. You're making millions and millions of dollars. You take that, you flip it, you put it into real estate. which is where the money resides.
Where the money resides.
Mm-hmm. Where the money resides.
Yeah. So is actual currency. It is not. Actual currency is the equity and the equality that you get. Period.
Yes, ma'am.
Digital currency is just some shit to make you popular. The worst thing you can be is popular and broke.
Oh yeah.
Woo!
Good.
A whole year and a half. Like, wait a minute.
I got all these followers and not a dime.
We ain't working a whole year. So what they doing? And
yes, ma'am. That's like noted. When I say this conversation is noted, like noted.
Yeah.
Noted.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Bless you, Auntie Nikki.
I love
We love you.
Love you.
So y'all can take care of me when I get old.
Yeah.
I got you.
And
Yes.
hold on, let me call
We got you.
on here. Jay Swift, Versace Baby Doll. Oh my God. People have been on here and I love y'all. People have been on this live for a minute.
Yeah.
So I appreciate y'all so much for hanging out with me. I will be back tomorrow, I think. I think I got another interview, but I love y'all and I appreciate y'all and I want you to win. And thank you, Sean, and thank you, Darius, and thank you, Shari, thank y'all, millennials, and thank you, everybody who's watching. And I see the wows and the support. I love everybody watching.
Auntie Nikki.
Yeah.
Can you follow me back?
I'm not following you?
No. I don't think.
See how they follow you out? I got you. Of course I can follow you back.
And I gotta follow you too, Shar. I gotta follow you.
Of course I can follow
I
you
gotta
back.
follow you.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. I gave y'all a Brownstone song. Didn't
She
I
definitely
y'all?
did.
I gave y'all a Brownstone song. You missed it.
She
okay,
did.
I'm gonna give you a little bit since you just came on here at the last time. I'm gonna give you a tiny bit of If You Love
Look
Me,
at
right?
Sean.
Just a little bit. And then I gotta get my butt off of here, right? Okay. Because my husband ain't had dinner and it's 9 o'clock. See, I'm real domestic. Okay, here we go. I don't want to rain on this parade, but I'm starting to question that was made. I'm not looking for just an affair. I want a love that is based on the truth, not just dare. You will not hurt my pride if right now you decide that you are not ready to settle down. But if you want my heart, then it's time that you start to act like you're mine in the light and the dark. If you love me, y'all ain't doing me right.
I knew the part, but I know the note.
Y'all ain't doing me right. Y'all ain't doing me right.
Look.
Listen, Linda.
You had it on.
Listen, Linda. All right. Well, remember, y'all. What are we looking for?
Ownership.
Point blank.
Ownership.
Yeah.
Ownership. That's how you get to generational wealth.
Yes,
All right. Thank you, everybody, for watching. You guys, I'm going to be coming nightly or almost nightly around 6:30, 7 o'clock. I appreciate you guys.
You're going to be on, right?
You said what, baby?
2 things. So you coming on to do your interview, right?
Yes, I am.
Darius, I'm a holder to it.
Yes, she is. 100%. I'm coming on.
Goofy shit for our one-on-one interview, right? For Soulful Sundays. Then you got to do the Women's Month Waiting to Exhale celebration.
Okay.
So who I got to send the dates to?
Send them to Shar or Tosha, and they got it.
And we got you.
And
Shar.
when you ready for that 90s mood show, if you need any, like if you want to just connect with me offline for your award show and all that other stuff, just for any advice at all.
Oh, absolutely. I'm working with you in the future anyway.
Yeah.
Like, that's already into existence. We working together. I don't care. We working together.
Believed and received. How about that? And everybody watching the live, do me a favor, y'all. Please go to, I know I said this a lot, follow at FTBUF, which is From the Bottom Up Foundation. Follow at Certified 90s R&B. I got your shirt, baby. And follow all of these beautiful people. Give them your ats real quick, y'all, so they can follow y'all too.
You want to go first, Sean? Or Sean?
Ladies first.
I'm at Lily for Life. That's LILLIE. The number 4, Life, LIFE.
I'm at 90s Mood, 90s 90, of course, S.mood_.
Okay, so you guys can follow me at Mr_dress and rest. So that's Mr_DRESS, the word and rest, REST. Yes, follow me there.
Yes, and if you look, everyone, Tosha, it says Tosha with a T. I'm saying Tosha, but it's a P. The lady PTOSHA. She just, I'm sorry, that was so nasty, but we family. She just tags all of the different places that you should follow us. And we are building this platform. It is not easy. If you can log on and support, please do. Because again, like I said, with R&B Divas from the bottom up, every brownstone, Soul Kids, Pussy Valley, everything I create, it is
you gonna get in trouble
for the people. Okay? All right, I love y'all.
Yes. Love
y'all.
See you guys.
Bye.